Hi there, my channel Lumiere Skin and Spa. Welcome to 360 Anti-Aging TV. Today, we're going to be talking about how to really reduce facial sagging and skin wrinkling. Now, as a laser esthetician and the CEO of a multi-branch anti-aging center, I've spent over half a decade helping clients reduce skin aging. One thing I've come to realize is that everybody, no matter how young or old, wants clear, perfect skin. But almost no one really understands what their skin is, what it is, what its functions are, how it ages, and how to reverse the aging. I want you to think of skin like muscle. We all know that as we age, we tend to lose muscle. This is called sarcopenia, or age-related muscle loss. We also know that this muscle loss can be dramatically slowed down or even reversed through stimulating muscle protein synthesis, or hypertrophy, through resistance training. Much like muscle, the skin also deteriorates with age. It thins and loses elasticity, making it sag and wrinkle. And much like muscle, this process can be reversed if you know how to do it correctly. To illustrate, I am 50 years old, but there's hardly any signs of elastosis or sagging on my skin. And I score a 1 on a modified Fitzpatrick wrinkle scale, meaning I hardly have any visible wrinkles. Today I'm going to give you a crash course on skin aging, what I do to reverse it for myself and for my clients. But there's one thing I need you to first realize, and it is this: there is no magic bullet. There is no one cream, treatment, lotion, potion, or powder that you can take that will automatically reverse skin aging. Skin aging is a multifactorial problem. It is very complex. And the sooner you realize this, the sooner you can stop spending your hard-earned money on expensive creams and lotions that really don't do anything to reverse skin aging. Much like building muscle, regenerating the skin is a process that involves stimulation, nourishment, and the activation of growth factors, which when fully formed will lead to a functional skin and youthful-looking appearance. Now, if you do not understand this process, you will be easily swayed by the latest and greatest, newest marketing campaign for the latest, greatest miracle cream, promising everything and delivering close to nothing. So, while this video can get a bit technical at times, please do bear with me, because I promise you it will be worth it at the end when I show you real-life secrets on how to achieve great-looking skin. I want to start by discussing with you the most commonly known causes of skin aging. Everybody knows that sunlight or ultraviolet rays, pollution, smoking, drinking, repeated smiling, frowning, or exaggerated facial expressions can cause wrinkles to develop early. Sleeping on one side of your face, smoking, lack of sleep will also cause you to develop premature skin wrinkling. They do this by mechanical manipulation of the skin, or in some cases by breaking down or stopping the production of collagen. We're going to go back to collagen in a bit, but for now, I want you to step back and take a look at these causes of aging from a different perspective. Now, children and young adults are exposed to the same mechanical stressors as we are. They're exposed under the same sun, they're exposed to the same pollutants. They are also known to smoke and drink. They sleep on the side of their faces, and they're also stressed from school. Yet, why don't their faces sag and wrinkle? It is because the things that we have been told that cause skin aging are not really the primary causes of skin aging. UV rays, pollution, smokings are all accelerants to skin aging if the skin cannot repair itself fast enough. The damage to our skin occurs every day. Much like bone and muscle, skin is broken down, recycled, and rebuilt every day. As a matter of fact, you're losing between 0.001 to 0.003 ounces of skin every hour. This process is called autophagy. So why don't we see thinning of the skin in our younger years? It's because the skin is constantly rebuilding itself through a process called keratinization. Young people can repair the damage very, very quickly so that there are no visible signs of the damage. But as we age, the process of autophagy or self-repair dramatically slows down. And now, the rate at which the damage occurs is much faster than the rate at which we can repair them. So you see, the real cause of aging is not extrinsic or external, but rather it is intrinsic or internal. The real key to reversing skin aging then is to increase autophagy or our rate of self-repair by slowing down intrinsic aging or the biological rate at which we age. And this is what 360 Anti-Aging Program is all about. If you haven't already, I have several videos on 360 Anti-Aging on my YouTube channel, so please do subscribe and click the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I have new videos out on the subject. You can also check out my previous videos there. For today, we're going to be focusing on external aging and how you can reverse skin damage from the outside using the correct treatments and protocols. I only touched on intrinsic aging because I want you to realize that you cannot correct external skin damage by external treatments alone. Having said that, the correct anti-aging protocols will go a long way towards restoring youthful skin. And to be perfectly honest, past a certain age, they are actually mandatory if you want to look 10, 15, even 20 years younger than your actual age. So let's begin. First, it's important to understand that your skin has 3 layers. Each of these layers perform a different function, and each of these layers age in a different manner. If you really want to address skin aging, you have to address skin aging on all of these 3 layers. These layers are the epidermis, the dermis, and the subcutaneous layer. Now, all of these layers are extremely complex and contribute differently towards the maintenance of youthful-looking skin. Now, it's important to realize that all of these layers are so complex that I have to break the videos down into different parts, or else this video is going to run for hours and hours. Today, we're going to be focusing on the epidermis, or the first layer of the skin. This is the layer that you see when you look at yourself or you stare at your reflection back in the mirror. This is the visible part of the skin, and in itself is made up of 4 to 5 different layers, depending on which part of the body you're looking at. Now, the function of the epidermis is primarily to act as a physical and chemical barrier to the outside world. It is your immune system's first line of defense against exotoxins, bacteria, and virus. So how does the epidermis contribute to skin aging? Well, for one thing, the epidermis, or the top layer of your skin, is made up of mostly dead skin cells. That's right, the stratum corneum is made up of between 10 to 30 flattened skin cells called corneocytes. The epidermis has no blood supply and is nourished primarily through circulating oxygen. If the top layer of the skin is already dead, how then can young skin look so dewy and luminous? The answer is, this is because corneocytes are surrounded by a plasma membrane filled with water-retaining keratin proteins. And in and of itself, these dead skin cells are surrounded by oils and lipids produced by your sebaceous glands, which are located on the dermis, the second layer of your skin. Now, there are 3 factors that contribute to the youthful appearance of the epidermis. In younger skin, corneocytes are constantly being shedded and replaced. New skin is formed from the stratum basale, which is the bottommost layer of your skin, and pushed to the top, called the stratum corneum. This process occurs every 2 weeks, and it takes about 4 to 6 weeks for your old skin to shed. So technically, every 4 to 6 weeks, you have new skin on the surface. How is this relevant to wrinkling? As we get older, the time it takes for the skin to reepithelize and shed dramatically slows down. This means that more dead skin accumulates on the surface, making our skin appear dull. As we age, the quality of the corneocytes themselves degrade. The plasma membrane, which holds the keratin protein, and the keratin protein themselves are no longer able to hold the same amount of water as it did when we were younger. This makes the skin appear old and dry. How do we remedy this? The most effective way to combat this is through a combination of two treatments. One is mechanical exfoliation, either through superficial microneedling or microderm abrasion. Doing this will remove accumulated dead skin cells on the surface. Now, we recently did a video on microneedling, and I'll be posting a before and after picture here for your reference. Doing this procedure every 3 to 4 weeks will simulate the rate at which your body was shedding dead skin when you were much younger. A word of warning: do not overdo these procedures. Remember, your skin needs time to reepithelize. I mentioned earlier that it takes about 2 weeks for the skin to travel from stratum basilae to the top of the skin called the stratum corneum. If you do this procedure more than once every 2 weeks, you run the risk of making your skin thin, making it appear old and dry. Another effective way to address skin turnover is through the use of tretinoin or retinoic acid. Now, this compound was originally developed to treat acne, but it's been later shown to dramatically reduce skin aging. Now, this compound is known under many different brands. Retin A, Retin X, Renova, Avila are among some of the products out there. At Lumiere, we make our own tretinoin compound, and the beauty of tretinoin is that this compound is relatively cheap, so it's ideal for everyday use. In a randomized controlled study done in 2010 and published in the British Journal of Dermatology, 196 women aged between 40 to 65 with moderate to severe wrinkles were studied using tretinoin. One half of the women were given a moisturizing compound and the other half were given 0.02% tretinoin. Both groups were asked to use sunblock and moisturizers, and after a period of 24 weeks, the group using tretinoin showed a dramatic increase and improvement in wrinkle reduction. You can see from the before and after pictures here and from the graphs that are being displayed how dramatic the improvements actually were. Now, the funny thing is, scientists, even until today, do not know exactly how tretinoin removes acne or removes wrinkles. What has been shown is that tretinoin speeds up the turnover of skin from the basal layer to the top layer of the skin. What this means is that you have a faster, steady supply of new skin cells similar to what you had when you were younger. A few key pointers when using tretinoin: some people have been known to develop mild rashes and itching when starting off with this product, so it's always best to start slow when using tretinoin. To begin with, I always tell my clients to start applying tretinoin every other evening for a period of 2 weeks. You let the skin adapt to the compound. After 2 weeks, if you don't have itching and mild redness, you can begin using this every night. Now, it's important to understand that tretinoin can dry the skin in the beginning, and so this can lead to some micropeeling or slowing off of the skin. So it's always a good idea to use a good quality moisturizer when you're beginning to use tretinoin. It doesn't have to be expensive, it just has to be of good quality. Now, the key to success when using tretinoin is consistency. Even though tretinoin works immediately once you start applying it, it can take anywhere from 2 to 4 to 6 months to see really visible and noticeable results. Now, stick with it, because I promise you, the itching will go away, the dryness will go away, the redness will go away, and the results will follow. Now, some people, very few, can actually develop an allergy to tretinoin, just like anybody can develop an allergy to any other form of medication. If this happens, immediately stop. How do you know it's an allergic reaction? There is severe itching, severe redness, puffiness, difficulty breathing. When this happens, immediately stop. There are other alternatives to tretinoin, and the only reason why I focus on tretinoin is because I want to keep things simple. I don't want to overcomplicate your skin regimen. Tretinoin has already been proven to work. If you find that you are allergic to the product, then there are other alternatives like alpha hydroxy acids, beta hydroxy acids, vitamin C. These products can work as well as tretinoin, but I'm going to leave that for different discussion in different videos. Now, the second factor you need to watch out for if you want to keep a youthful epidermis is moisture. Although not technically located at the epidermis, you have a gland called the sebaceous glands located in the second layer of your skin called the dermis, which secretes lipids and oils, and these oils travel to the surface of the skin and lubricates the skin, giving it a youthful, dewy appearance. As we age, these glands physically shrink and they don't produce as much sebum as they did when we were younger. As a consequence, the surface of our skin appears dry and dull. Worse still, the lack of this protective layer means that the water trapped underneath our skin can now easily escape into the atmosphere, further causing dryness to the skin. Now, this is where a good quality moisturizer will help. Remember, the job of the moisturizer is to trap water by providing a thin film on the surface of your skin. That's it. There are expensive moisturizers out there with exotic ingredients like GAGs, glycosaminoglycans, and hyaluronic acid, which are hydrophilic molecules which trap water. Do they work? Yes, in the sense that they trap water within the molecules to prevent your own water from escaping your skin. Are they necessary? In my opinion, no, because the water that they trap is trapped within the moisturizer and does not really add to the water inside your skin. However, if you don't mind the extra cost, these expensive moisturizers can give you a bit of an improvement in skin appearance because of the trapped water within the moisturizer itself. However, I just need you to understand that this effect is purely cosmetic and it will go away once you wash off this expensive moisturizer. Now, the final component to addressing aging in the epidermis is through skin cell conversion from stem cells. Remember that I mentioned earlier that stem cells were converted into keratinocytes in the bottom layer of the skin called the stratum bacilli, and these in turn are converted into skin cells called corneocytes as they reach the top layer called the stratum corneum. What's important to understand here is that all of these cells come from stem cells. A stem cell is a blank cell that has the ability to differentiate and turn into other cells. This is the raw material that our body uses to produce skin. As we age, the quality and quantity of our stem cells diminish. Not only do we have fewer stem cells available for conversion, but their ability to differentiate and turn into skin cells diminish greatly. This is perhaps the most crucial aspect of epidermal aging, and this is where really the rubber meets the road. But this is a very complex topic and outside the scope of this video, so I'm going to stop here for now. What I want you to take away from this video is this: skin aging is very complex and multifactorial. This video barely scratched the surface of what needs to happen in order for you to have youthful, wrinkle-free skin. I just wanted to start with the basics so that you'll understand that at least taking care of the epidermis does not have to be expensive, and as a matter of fact, can be quite simple. If you are not presently satisfied with your skincare regimen, and if you haven't already, I suggest you ditch your expensive skincare products and start with just the basics: tretinoin, sunblock, and a good quality moisturizer. Combined with regular exfoliating sessions, this is already going to give you 80% of what you need in order to maintain a good, healthy epidermal layer. In succeeding videos, I'm going to be talking more about collagen, bone loss, and nutrition, and how they can affect your skin. And I'm going to be discussing as well more advanced procedures like lasers and other mechanical devices, which, if done properly, can buy you back 10 to 20 years in terms of a more youthful looking appearance. So I'm going to end this video here. If you haven't already, please do subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you're going to be notified every time I have a new video out. If you found this video helpful and you think it might help your friends, please feel free to share it. And always remember, if you're not aging deliberately, chances are you're not aging well. Until next time, this has been Mike Chan. To your looks and good health.